Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and we're going to be showcasing some of the stuff that I got from Gamestop the other day. So this is the second video out of the 3 videos I was going to make. The first one I made was the pickups video from the thrift store. This one is going to be the GameStop one. My very last one is going to end up being the ones that I got from Game On, that retro game store that is located in Miller Place, Smithtown, and Patchogue, New York, as well as having an arcade at the Smith Haven Mall in New York. So going to be showing some of the games I got at GameStop today. Most of these were in the deal that was 4 for $20. Essentially, that was for games that were $9.99 and below. And then I also added another game onto this list that I found there that I didn't really expect to find there, because as you guys may know, if you're a GameStop shopper, there aren't that many Xbox 360 and PS3 games available. So whenever I find one, I usually just pick it up right on the spot, especially if it's one that I don't have in my collection that goes for a decent price. So without finishing the introduction, I'm just going to go straight into the first one, since I kind of already hinted at it. I found Journey, the collector's edition for the PS3. So I vaguely remember playing this game. I'm pretty sure I actually have it, because I think it came with PlayStation Plus at one point. So I'm pretty sure I played this game on the PS4 while it was also a PS3 game. But it's also possible that I got this game on PS3 as well, since at the time they were also giving those games every single month on PlayStation Plus, like they were doing on PS4. So I vaguely remember playing this slightly. I don't really remember much about the game, but I do remember it being good. And one of my coworkers that was at the store, because I went to my old store that I used to work at, because I work at GameStop, one of my coworkers told me, hey, this one's a pretty good one, you might as well add that one to the list. So I ended up picking it up. I am currently trying to expand my PS3 library, since it is a decent size smaller than my 360 library, and I'm starting to appreciate it as much as my 360. So that one out of the way, let's look at some of the other ones that I got in this haul. So next up, we have an Xbox One game, and that one happens to be Resident Evil 7. So, funny enough, I played the beta of this version, which honestly is very common for me to do. Like, I'll play the beta of a game, and then I just won't go and play the actual game. So, I played the beta of this a very, very long time ago, before the game actually came out, and I told myself I was going to be getting the game on PC. I actually don't remember if I eventually did, but I do know that the game is on Game Pass now, so technically I could have just downloaded it that way and played it that way. But I figured, since the game was $9.99 and below, and I wanted to get a few games that were on that 4 for $20 deal, I might as well add this to my collection, since I am actually starting to expand the Xbox One library of games that I have as well. So I figured a good Resident Evil game that kind of changed the formula a little bit would be cool for me to add, since I've never actually played the full game itself, more so just like the beginning of it due to the beta. So I do remember a few of my coworkers saying that this one was really good, and I remember just reviews on this were generally good, saying that it definitely was a different take of a Resident Evil game, but still nonetheless a very solid one. Like, this one was first person rather than the third person slash a kind of narration, almost sort of view that you would see in the older games. So this is definitely a different take on Resident Evil from what I've heard. I know this is kind of like the new formula, because Village follows the same formula as well. Take a shot every time I say formula, by the way. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to giving this one a shot eventually. I eventually do want to jump and play the rest of the Resident Evil series as well, other than the one I'm showcasing here. So next up, another game that I played the beta of but never got the full game was Steep for the Xbox One. This is also the last Xbox One game I got on the list. So I don't know if this is just Steep or this is a special edition of Steep, but it does say Steep Winter Games Edition from Pyeongchang, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, 2018. So I guess that's like a festival where I'm guessing this game either came out at the same time as the original Steep, or it just ended up coming out later, or this cover is completely irrelevant because it's a pre-owned game and doesn't have a DLC code. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that I really enjoyed playing the Steep beta when I played it, and when I played Riders Republic, it kind of gave me like the vibe of Steep. So I really kind of want to try this one out. This is honestly probably going to be the one game of the entire list that I play first, just because, like I said, I played the beta and I really enjoyed it. Where with Resident Evil, I played the beta, I thought it was cool, but there just wasn't enough for me to really want to go and buy the game just yet. So I'm definitely going to be giving this one a shot, probably even when this video is done. So putting that one down, let's see what else we got on this list. So not a giant haul this time around, but still some pretty cool games. The next game that I got was Need for Speed Rivals. So I never really was into racing games growing up. The only one I really played was Burnout 3 Takedown, because I really liked the mode where you can just crash into the cars and just knock out as many cars as you can in the round. So I pretty much played that one and didn't really care for the other ones. At that time, I really wasn't really knowledgeable on how cars worked either, and I really just didn't find them interesting whatsoever. But however, I have an uncle that's really into cars, that's really into racing games as well, and the first Need for Speed game he got me was that reboot one that came out on Xbox One and PS4, and he got me the deluxe edition. He's got me a few of those racing games over the years, and at one point he got me one of the Gran Turismo games for PS4. I think it was Gran Turismo Sport, that's what it was. So ever since he started getting me the racing games, I kind of ventured into those a little more. I got into Forza Horizon very heavily. I play Forza Horizon 5 almost every week. I wouldn't say every day, but I play it at least once every single week. So I pretty much can say that I got into them a decent amount. So I don't really know much about the Need for Speed series, but I saw that this game was cheap enough to where I figured, why not? I probably have more than just this Need for Speed on 360 anyway, so if I want to play any other ones after this, I can just go back and play those. But this is a Need for Speed game, so I don't think I'm going to be having an issue with it, considering I'm starting to like these racing games a lot. And you know what? I pretty much have to say that the racing games from the older generations of consoles seem to bring me in a little bit more, other than Forza Horizon 5, because I didn't really like a Gran Turismo 7 that much. I got it on the PS5 the day it came out. I got that special edition one, and then I even got a racing wheel with it, but I just wasn't that big of a fan of it, so I think I would rather play something like Need for Speed anyway. Not that Gran Turismo is a bad game. I know it's like the most realistic racing simulator that you can get out there, but I really more so like the games that give you a little more freedom other than just the tracks, and that's really just the kind of racing games that are for me, hence why I play Forza Horizon so much. I play it more for the stunts than the actual races. Not that I don't like the races, I just like the open world aspect a little bit more. So the very last game that I got on this list was another Xbox 360 game, and that one was Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. So I don't know if this is going to be anything close to the game Mech Assault that I played, but I do imagine you're going to at least be able to play some of the Transformers. I didn't really get this game for any specific reason other than that it wasn't in my collection and it was one of those $9.99 and below games, so I figured I'd just add it for the hell of it. There's really not much I can say about it because I know nothing about it, and if I'm just going to keep talking about it, I'm basically going to be talking out of my ass because I know literally nothing about this game. So a recap of everything I got in this haul. As I just showed, it was Transformers. Right before that was Need for Speed Rivals. Before that one was Steep for Xbox One, Resident Evil 7 / Biohazard for Xbox One, and Journey for the PS3. So, like I said, that is everything on the list. I'm starting to get back into collecting a decent amount more than I was before. I initially took a major break and was just focusing on video games monthly for that time because I basically was trying to save up for an apartment since I originally was going to Drexel for college. As it turns out, I'm no longer going there. I'm actually going to be going back to community college this fall. So essentially, I am just being like, okay, I have some extra cash on the side. I might as well expand my collection while I can afford it. So I've been kind of going back and adding more stuff to that pile of games rather than holding back and saving for an apartment like I was doing before. So while I just started recording this, I just remembered there was one other thing that I got from GameStop, and I'm going to grab that thing right now. So funny enough, I didn't actually make a big deal of this purchase when I got it. Plus, it was about a week and a half ago, so I honestly forgot about it. It was kind of just something to add to the collection for no major reason. But I ended up getting the Pokemon Sword and Shield version / the Zacian / Zamazenta version of the Switch Lite at GameStop. So essentially, I didn't get it new. Someone traded it in about maybe like a month ago, and when we take trades in at GameStop, we put them on a special trade hold for 28 days. I know in California and other states they do it differently, but in New York we do the trade hold for a 28-day period. Once that period is off, we can sell it to customers. So I had my eye on this as soon as we got it in for trade. Immediately after it came off a trade hold, as soon as I got to work, I had my coworker ring me up, and I bought this thing on the spot. So I'm definitely going to be using it a little bit. I got this more for the collector's piece. The same thing goes for my Pokemon Diamond and Pearl version of the Switch Lite, although that one is more of my main console than this one. I'm more than likely going to be using this as another thing for shiny hunting with my friends, since a majority of them want to get together and kind of just do like a mass hunt. I now have 3 Nintendo Switches in my collection. So I have the original V1 that came with the gray Joy-Cons. I have the Diamond and Pearl edition of the Switch Lite, and I now have the Zamazenta Zacian version of the Switch Lite, which, funny enough, I got a week after I got my Steam Deck. So may find me crazy for that, considering I just spent the $500, but it was cheap enough with my discount to where I figured, you know what, I'm going to do it. I've wanted to get this one for a long time, and I figured since it's probably going to hold value somewhere in the future, I might as well just get the version of it. And you know damn well that if they come out with the Scarlet and Violet version of the Switch Lite, I'm going to be getting that one instead. Now, funny enough, the Nintendo Switch is nowhere near one of my favorite systems of all time. I'm just a major Pokemon fan and love getting the special editions of consoles. And considering the Switch Lite is a very cheap alternative to the original Switch, being only $200 plus refurbished / pre-owned is a lot cheaper, and then my discount on top of that, it just makes it completely worth it for me to jump on these things. So yeah, now that's everything that I got from GameStop. So I figured I might as well just add that to the list, even though I got that on a separate day than these pickups. I figured it would just be something to show off. I pretty much stopped posting on Instagram, so I didn't even update anybody on the fact that I got this. I don't know if I'm going to continue going on there ever again. I've kind of started to hate the platform a little bit, plus that new update kind of sucks, and I hate Instagram in general, but I don't know. Maybe I'll move my platform over to Facebook eventually, or maybe just another social media platform that's good. But for now, I'm sticking to YouTube and just doing that. This is everything that I got here. So I kind of went on a tangent and a tirade, but that is everything that I got in the haul for GameStop. So last video of this whole pickups thing is going to be the stuff I got from Game On. So I hope to see you guys then. I'll figure out when I'm going to upload that soon. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.